Most of us want an inexpensive, compact camera to vlog or even catch family videos that is easy to use. But most of the time, it doesn't check all the boxes, and we end up with something we don't really like to use. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the Feiyutech Pocket 2, and you can decide if this is going to be your next camera in your, well, I'm not going to say it. When it comes to shooting video on the go, it needs to be stable and of course look good. How many times have you tried to capture something with your phone and it just fails? Now look, phones have come a long way, but they aren't the easiest to hold when you're trying to get that footage, and you end up breaking or even worse, losing your phone. Now Feiyutech isn't new to this game, and they have done a great job with a ton of solutions for capturing quality, smooth footage. I want to thank them for sending this unit out for review so I could give you all my first thoughts as soon as it's released. Now while they aren't the first with the Pocket camera name, they just might have the better version. Taking a look around the device, the size really is smaller than you might think. For comparison, it's about as tall as the iPhone 12 mini. That is crazy. The body is great looking, all black aluminum that offers some good weight, but not so much so that you don't like carrying around in your pocket or your bag. The front of the device houses a small screen about 1.3 inches tall and wide. Below that, of course, is the joystick and has a number of functions, which we'll show in a moment. And below that is the record button, which does house a little flashing green LED light to indicate that you're recording. Around the side of the device, you have a micro SD card slot, which actually clicks in. I actually really like that a lot. And above that is the USB-C charging port. On the other side, you've got the microphone, as well as the power button, which does a couple other things too. And at the bottom, it's got a threaded port, so it's easy to mount on any tripod. Video-wise, this does 1080 up to 120 frames per second, 2.7K and 4K up to 60 frames per second. Now that's pretty nice for a video camera this size. Now, it also can take pictures, do slow-mo, time-lapse, and panoramic capabilities. At its widest, it does have a 130-degree field of view. On the tilt side, it does do 280 degrees, pan will go around about 314 degrees, and roll will do a full 180. The battery typically lasts about 220 minutes. Now when I use the camera itself, I was always turning it off after each use. I felt like I may have gotten close to that 220 minutes before I had to recharge again. Speaking of recharging, when you use that USB-C port, it only takes about an hour and a half to give you a full charge. So let's get to what you all probably came here for, and that's some footage off the dang camera. However, 98% of you watching right now aren't subscribed. Come on, people. Up until this point, the video's been pretty enjoyable, right? Go ahead and leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. But if you love hearing about tech that is a little bit more simple, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my next video. Now that that's out of the way, I've really enjoyed using this to shoot video, most of which I did do in 4K 24p, which matches all of my other footage, so I tend to lean towards that so it all looks the same. I was really impressed with how clean the footage came out of the camera. Holding the Pocket 2 was fairly comfortable, and it even felt good enough to hold out my truck to capture some footage of my buddy driving behind me. Now I am a sucker for slow-mo, so I had to go ahead and try that feature out. I did feel like the 1080p was a little bit too soft for my liking, so what do you think? It does also shoot slow-mo in 4K, and that looked absolutely awesome. I think much better than the 1080p footage. Now while using the little screen was difficult to see what the footage looked like, I tend to really only use that for making sure that the shot was framed up properly. Let's go ahead real quick and take a look at the audio along with some video on the camera. I did shoot some footage earlier that you saw me at the park, but one thing that I think I messed up on was, I think I covered the microphone while talking and going this way. So you got an idea of what the stabilization was like and getting a little bit of it now. But I just wanted to try it again to make sure I didn't cover the mic this time and turn it around and make sure that I wasn't touching the mic again. Now, I am touching the camera itself and moving my finger around and whatnot, but I'm not touching the mic. And I think there is a little bit of vibrations going on here and there. But right now, I definitely don't have my finger on the mic so you can hear what it sounds like. And let's go ahead and flip it back around again. And you get an idea. Again, keeping my finger away from the mic, following the dog, walking around, and just handling the microphone to see if there's any vibrations going on. I think what might be good with this is to add a tripod to it and see if that can help with dampening if there is any transfer of that audio. Now this was taken directly from the camera raw. I didn't adjust anything in the first part as you saw. I don't know about you, but it did sound kind of quiet to me. I did bump it up in post on the second part as you saw, and it can be raised without hurting the quality too much. On the other hand, there was noise going on in the background and it blocked it out pretty darn good. But I wish the mic was just a little bit louder. What do you guys think? Go ahead and leave a comment down below. So not only can you control this obviously on the camera itself, but there is an app that will connect to your phone via Wi-Fi. This takes over the camera completely when it is connected. To set up, all you need to do is swipe down from your screen, tap setup, and then hit Wi-Fi. It'll go ahead and give you a network name and password to connect to your phone. You tap open, and once it's connected, go ahead and open the app, and it should show your Pocket 2 on there to connect. Tap on camera, and boom, you've got a live view on your phone. Now this is laid out really nice. On the top left, going to the right, you can choose to look at what you've recorded, even download it to your phone. Next to that, you can lock the screen's orientation. All along that top side, you've got the battery percentage left on the camera itself, what file you're looking at, if it's MOV or you're taking pictures and it's JPEG. Next to that, it will tell you that you have a micro SD card in the machine itself, and of course, how much space you have left on it, whether it is video or how many pictures you have left to take. Below that, of course, is the screen, and then you have the video set to auto, which you can change to pro, and this will give you more full control over what the image looks like, and you can access that even more under the settings, which will give you that easy mode, again, or the pro mode. One example in here is the field of view on your lens. There is narrow, ultra wide, and wide. On a side note, I do like the wide option because it offers the same amount of width as the super wide without that fishbowl effect. The next function is called Somatic Control. With this, wherever you move the phone, the camera will follow. Then you have the record button next to that, and then of course your size of your focus box. And on the end, you actually have the ability to select the resolution, which is the FPS, the quality, and of course what you're shooting in. Next, you can choose the function that you want the camera to use, whether it's photo, video, slow-mo, time-lapse, pano, and motion lapse. In the middle, you have total control of the gimbal, much like the little knob that's on there, in all directions, up, down, left, and right. Last but not least, on the bottom row, you have the motion option, which is smooth or sport. Next, you can choose how you want the camera to follow you while shooting. Then you can tap to recenter if you do get a little bit off and you want to make it perfect again. And next to that is the mirror function, which I'll be honest with you, I don't know why you would want to do a mirror function, but it's there if you want to use it. Then there's the selfie flip, so you don't have to move the camera. Now at this point, some of you may be saying, Mike, why do I want to use the phone at all? Well, there is a ton of reasons. Now, 3 for me would be if I'm sitting down to film, I can set the camera back a little bit, and if I want to adjust any settings, I don't have to keep reaching for the camera and moving it around. Also, if you're using the pro mode, I can see a lot better on my phone than I can looking at the little screen. And lastly, the ability to directly download to my phone from the camera. Now I think with the small footprint of this camera, it makes it way less obvious if you're vlogging or you're out filming your family. I do want to say if you have larger hands, you might want to get like a little mini tripod to put on the bottom because it might give you something more to hold on to. Like I said earlier, I'm really impressed with the video quality on such a tiny device. The audio could be a little bit louder in my opinion, especially if you're not going to be doing any post-editing of these clips. If you want to know more about that, go ahead and leave a comment down below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Now look, there are a lot of people that don't want to carry a camera around and you just want to use your phone. I've got a solution for you there too. Go ahead and check out my video on the iPhone 12 Pro Max. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. You guys have a great day and I'll see you in the next video.